Happy morning, dear children of class 7, and I am happy to welcome you all to today's botany class. So what are we going to learn today? Today's topic will be a new lesson for you. It is chapter 4 and the name of the lesson is plant life. So what is the name of the lesson? It is plant life. Obviously it is going to be about the plants, the nutrition of plants, photosynthesis happening in plants. So it will be that way. So let's get started. So before learning about the nutrition in plants, let's learn some general concepts about nutrition. Okay. So why do we need food? We all eat food, right? So why do we eat food? For what purpose do we eat? We eat to live. Only when we eat we can stay alive. So we eat to live, and also we eat to grow. Only when you eat properly in a healthy way, you grow according to your age. So why do you need food? Every living organism, not only human beings or plants, every living organism needs food for two reasons. One is to stay alive or to live, and the second reason is to grow in a right way according to their age. What does a food gives? Okay, what all food gives you? It gives you energy. When you don't eat, you feel so down in energy, right? So as soon as you eat, you feel that you are healthy and you have so much of energy, and it helps in proper body functions. See, all organs of your body can function in a proper way only when food is provided to your body. If you stop eating properly, then the functions of the body will also be affected. Clear? Say for example, if you drink less water, your kidney may develop stones, like that. When some food is not given properly to your body, then it will lead to some complications in the organs of your body, which will lead to diseases, or it will disturb your body function. So what food gives you? Food gives you energy, and also it helps in the proper functioning of your body. Only when you eat properly, the organs of your body will function properly. This is about nutrition. And then let's learn about the definition of nutrition. How can you define nutrition? Nutrition is a process. It is a process where food is obtained. What does this mean? What is obtained? Obtained means when you take in food, or when an animal gets its food. The process where animal or any organism gets its food. For what it gets its food? For the growth and the development. What is growth and what is development? What is the difference between two? Growth means increase in your height and weight. When a person or an organism increases in the height as well as the weight, that is the length and the breadth increases, then it is called the growth. Then what is development? You never call that your brain grows, no. What you tell? You tell that as the human being or as the child grows up, the brain develops. We use this word development for brain. What does this mean? It does not mean that it is increasing in size, but it is increase in the maturity or in the function. A baby will not have that much development in its brain, whereas when the child grows up, as the age passes by, the mental development will be better, right? That is what is mentioned as development. So when you eat, there is growth, that is increase in height and weight, as well as there is development, that is you are mentally or all organs of your body develop, and vital activities of your body are also controlled by nutrition. What is vital? Vital means important. All activities of your body are also achieved whenever there is proper nutrition. So you can define nutrition as a process of obtaining food by organisms for its growth and development and for its vital activities. Clear? This you have to memorize the definition. You should be thorough with. Then what do animals eat and what do plants eat? What do animals eat? Some eat plants, some animals eat the plants, or some animals eat the other animals. Say for example, herbivores all will depend upon the plants for food, right? Whereas carnivores, flesh eating animals, will depend upon other animals. Say for example, a lion will eat a goat, an animal eats another animal. So what animals eat? Animals may either eat plants or other animals for its food, it may depend upon. Okay, then what do plants feed on? What plants eat? Plants do not eat or eat anything, they make their own food. The plant itself will make their own food. The process is called as photosynthesis, right? You must have studied from your lower grades, and in this class you are going to learn in detail about the process of photosynthesis. Clear? So plants make their own food, and since they make their own food, plants are called as autotrophs. Clear? So what do what do animals eat? Animals eat either plants or other animals. What do plants eat? Plants do not depend on others, they prepare their own food, and hence they are called by the word autotrophs. Clear? Then we learn about this word autotrophic nutrition. What is this autotrophic nutrition? I told you already, plants make their own food, no? How do they make their own food? It is by a process called as photosynthesis. By the process of photosynthesis, plants make their own food. Okay, if it is going to make some food, suppose if you are going to cook food, you need some raw materials. Now, what raw materials? If you are going to cook lunch, what you need? You need rice to cook, no? So similarly, plants also will need some raw materials to make something, right? So that raw material is called inorganic material. So out of what the plant makes food, it is from the inorganic material. Where are the inorganic materials? From its environment. Which is the environment for the plants? The surrounding soil is the environment for the plants, right? The soil, or even from the air. Say for example, a plant can make food from carbon dioxide in the air. So the environment is air also. So it takes water from the soil. So now the environment is soil too. So from the immediate environment of the plant will make its food. And then what is the meaning of autotroph? I have told you several times, auto means, the word auto refers to self. What is auto? Auto means self, by itself. And the word troph, troph means either food or feeding. So what is autotroph? Auto means self and troph means it is making its own food. Clear? And plants are also called as producers. What does producer mean? Producer means something which can produce. So they are called producers because plants make their own food. So since they produce their own food, they are called by the word producers. And also plants are the source of food for all the organisms. Plants are the source of food for all other organisms in this world. Why? Because even the animals depend on the plants for the food. Even flesh eating animals which depend on other animals for food, that animal will be eating plants only. Say for example, if a lion eats a goat, what will goat eat? Goat again depends on plants for its food, right? So in some way all organisms in this world depend on plants as its main source of food. Clear? So what have we studied about autotrophic nutrition? Plants make their own food by a process of photosynthesis. From where does it make? From inorganic materials which is present in the environment, and since they make their food on its own, it is called auto, which is self, and troph, which is food. And plants are also called as producers since they produce the food, and plants are the main source of food for all other organisms in this world. That is about autotrophic nutrition. Next we learn the process of photosynthesis. Already you must have studied what is photosynthesis in your lower grades, no? So what is actually happening in photosynthesis? The detailed process we will learn in today's class. First of all, photosynthesis process is not a single step process. Okay, it is not happening in a single step, it is a multi-step process. Multi means many, right? So it has many steps, it is a process including many steps. How it happens? It uses the energy from the sun. What energy does sun give? Sun gives light energy, right? So this process of photosynthesis uses the light energy of the sun. From the sun it gets the light energy, and with the help of light energy it converts water and carbon dioxide. What it converts? Water, what you pour into the soil, and carbon dioxide from the atmosphere is taken by the plants as the raw materials, and to what it is converted in this process? Something is converted into something else. Some raw material is converted into some product. What raw materials? Water and carbon dioxide are the raw materials. To what they are converted into? To glucose in the form of food and oxygen. So how it is converted into? It is converted into glucose, which is a sugar, and also oxygen, which is released out. So what is the process of photosynthesis? It is a multi-step process where light energy from the sun is obtained, and also raw materials, that is water from the soil and carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. These three are the raw materials. So after the process of photosynthesis, two products are formed. The first product is the main product, that is the food, which is glucose, and the second product is a gas, which is oxygen, which will be released out into the atmosphere. Clear? So this is about photosynthesis. Then you need to learn this, okay? This is the word equation of photosynthesis. In chemistry all you learn many equations, no? Similarly, the process of photosynthesis also can be represented in a form of an equation. So you need to memorize this equation. What is it? Already we have studied what is happening. The same process is given in the form of equation. So what all is used in photosynthesis? Carbon dioxide, water and light energy with the help of chlorophyll. What is this chlorophyll? It is a pigment which helps in the process of photosynthesis. So 4 points you have to remember this side. Carbon dioxide, water, light energy and chlorophyll is used. And to what it is converted? It is converted into two products. Number 1 is glucose and number 2 is oxygen. So the equation is carbon dioxide plus water plus light energy. In the presence of light energy and chlorophyll gives glucose plus oxygen. This is called the word equation of photosynthesis. Why it is called word equation? Actually, if you want to write it in the form of chemical equation, it will be this way: CO2 plus H2O, like that. In a chemical notation, if you write, it is called the chemical equation, right? It will be in a balanced form too. That you need not learn for your levels, just it is enough to learn the word equation which is given in your textbook. So this is the word equation of photosynthesis. Then what are the requirements, the basic requirements of photosynthesis? You need 4 materials as basic requirements for photosynthesis. They include carbon dioxide, water, chlorophyll and sunlight. You know already, right? You have studied already. And now in the next few slides you are going to learn the role of these 4 factors in the process of photosynthesis. What carbon dioxide will do in photosynthesis, how water contributes in the process of photosynthesis, how chlorophyll participates, what is the role of sunlight in the process of photosynthesis. These all you are going to learn in the upcoming slides. Clear? First we will start with carbon dioxide. This carbon dioxide is considered as the raw material of photosynthesis. What is raw material? If you need to prepare something, some basic ingredient it will have, no? That basic ingredient is carbon dioxide in the process of photosynthesis. Why? Because see, if you see the formula for glucose, glucose is the final product form, no? That is the food formed is glucose. The formula for glucose will be C6H12 and O6. This is the formula for glucose, that is the product formed will have the formula C6H12 and O6. So for this obviously you need, for this has to be formed, you need some source of carbon oxygen all, right. So carbon dioxide's formula is CO2. So from this CO2, this C6H12O6 is produced. So carbon dioxide is the main raw material in the process of photosynthesis. Clear? That's why it is the main raw material in the process of photosynthesis, because of the presence of carbon and oxygen. So the source of carbon for the formation of glucose is carbon dioxide, and this gas carbon dioxide, actually carbon dioxide is a gas, right. So this gas carbon dioxide, from where it is obtained? It is obtained from the immediate atmosphere. Clear? From the surrounding air, the carbon dioxide gas is obtained by the plants. And how it enters into the plant? See here, you can see this is the structure of a leaf. You have studied in the first lesson, I guess, the structure of the leaf. So here the gas from the atmosphere will enter into the leaf through stomata. So can you see two cells here? This and the opening, these are guard cells, and this opening is the stomata. So through the stomata of the leaf only, the atmospheric carbon dioxide will enter into the leaf. So what have we studied about carbon dioxide? It is a raw material, main raw material for photosynthesis, because it is a source of carbon, and it leads to the formation of glucose from the carbon, and this carbon dioxide is obtained from the atmosphere in the form of gas. And how it enters into the plant? Through an opening called as stomata, which is present in the leaves. So this is about carbon dioxide. The next basic component used in photosynthesis is water. See, suppose if you pour 100 ml of water to a plant, it will take only 1 ml of water for photosynthesis. It means only 1% out of 100%, only 1% of water what you pour to the plant is taken by the plant for photosynthesis. Where are the remaining water? All remaining water is lost into the atmosphere by the process of transpiration. What is transpiration? Water lost to the atmosphere from a plant through the leaves is transpiration, right? This also you have already studied in your first lesson. So 1% of water only is used for photosynthesis, all other, the rest is lost by transpiration. And the solvents, what is the solvent here? Water is the solvent, no? The solvent will carry dissolved minerals. From where? From the soil, the water can take minerals in a dissolved form for the plants. Okay, so some more you have about water in the next slide. So how does water travel from the root to the leaves? First, the water what you pour into the soil will be taken up by the xylem of the roots. Why xylem? You know, xylem is a conducting tissue for water, and phloem is the tissue which can carry food, you know, right? So here water is carried by which conducting tissue? It is by xylem. So where can you find xylem? In the case of plants, xylem is present in almost all the parts. In roots you have, in stem you have, in the leaves also you have xylem. So first, when you pour water into the soil, the water will enter into the xylem of the roots. The roots will have xylem, no? First water will enter into the roots. Then from the roots it will go about to the stem. To the stem also again it takes the path of xylem only, because only xylem can carry the water. So after going to the stem it will reach the leaves. How it reaches the leaves? Through the veins and veinlets it reaches the cells of the leaves. Do you remember what are veins? Can you see some? We have studied in the structure of leaf, no? In the leaf you will have such structures, right? These are the veins of the leaves. Through these veins and veinlets means branches of the veins are called veinlets. When the veins are branched, it is called as veinlets. So the leaves will take in water through the veins and the veinlets. So this is about water being the basic component of photosynthesis. So two components we have studied and two more we have to learn. So next, sunlight. So sunlight is also a very important factor in the process of photosynthesis because it gives light energy. Okay, some form of energy is needed for a process, no? So this energy is given by the sunlight in the form of light energy. Only in the presence of light energy this process can happen because the product formed glucose is considered as a chemical energy. You call it as food, but when you speak in a chemistry form of the food, it is that the food contains so much of carbon in the form of glucose and also energy in the form of chemical energy. We simply call it as food. Actually, what is stored in the food? Energy is stored in the food, and that energy only gives us energy, right? So to get that energy, from where it gets that energy? From the light energy only this chemical energy is formed, that is the food is formed in the form of chemical energy. So the initial energy used here is light energy, which is from the sun. So the light energy from the sun will be captured by the leaves. Why leaves? Because leaves will have a special pigment called as chlorophyll. So in the presence of chlorophyll pigment only, the light energy is converted into chemical energy. It is transported by the chlorophyll and it converts carbon dioxide and water into glucose and here into chemical energy. Food is mentioned here. What is food here? Food is glucose, and the chemical form of the glucose is actually chemical energy. We call by the general word food, but you have to mention it as chemical energy. Glucose is a energy stored product. Clear? So sunlight gives light energy which is trapped by the chlorophyll pigments, a green pigment. We will learn in the next slide about chlorophyll. And what does this do? It will convert carbon dioxide and water into chemical energy, which is actually the food in the form of glucose. So here light energy is converted into carbohydrates or glucose and oxygen in the presence of carbon dioxide and water. Clear? So the last component to be studied in the process of photosynthesis is chlorophyll. What is this chlorophyll? Chlorophyll is a green pigment. Plants are all green in color because of the presence of this pigment that is called as chlorophyll. Where can you find chlorophyll in the plants? You can find in the leaves, and this pigment is present inside a structure, inside the organelle of a cell, which is called chloroplast. In the chloroplast, this is the structure of a chloroplast. In our next class, we will study about the detailed structure of chloroplast. Just now you remember that chlorophyll pigment is present in this chloroplast. Inside this structure only you can find this chlorophyll pigment. And where can you see this chlorophyll pigment and chloroplast? It is present in the leaves. It is scattered about all around, especially on the surface of the leaves. And the green color of the young stem, usually when a small seedling or a plant grows, initially the stem is all green in color, right? Only when it grows into a tree or something, the bark of the tree all will be brown in color, but initially it will be green in color because young stems do have chlorophyll. Young stems also have the chlorophyll pigment just like the leaves. So what have we studied about chlorophyll? Chlorophyll is a green pigment and it is present inside an organelle of a cell which is called as chloroplast. And where can you find chloroplast? Chloroplast is present in the leaves. It is scattered about in the leaves. Not only the leaves, the young stem also has chloroplast. And what is the function of the chlorophyll pigment? The chlorophyll pigment is the one which traps the light energy from the sun. Okay, the carbon dioxide or the water cannot trap the light energy from the sun. Only this pigment has a special ability to trap or capture the light energy from the sun to convert it into chemical energy. Clear? This is about chlorophyll. In our next class, we will be learning in detail about the structure of this chloroplast, that is the organelle in a cell, in a plant cell. Clear? For today's homework, you are going to read pages 70 and 71. So read thoroughly. So after every chapter we have class test, no? So to prepare for that, learn your daily portion so that it will be easy for you during your test. So that is all about today's class, and until I meet you in one more class, you all take care and bye bye.